Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. It's a Saturday, it's the 28th of May, and today I want to talk to you about CRISPR-Cas9 related topics. All of you know that I'm not a biologist or a physician or anything, just a regular investor. But there's always a saying that you have to invest in things that you know. And when we get into genomics, we are investing in an area that we do not know, and we have to separate the hype from what is real. So we need to roll up our sleeves and need to do a little bit of digging and educate ourselves. And that's what I've been trying to do, and I'm going to share my thoughts with you, whatever I've gathered so far. And that's what this video is all going to be about. So with that said, let's get started. So what do we know so far from our investing in genomics? We have some background knowledge about CRISPR-Cas9, of course not as a biologist or a geneticist, but as a layperson investor who is doing a lot of reading. So let me summarize everything that at least I have gathered so far. And if any of the viewers are experienced biologists or something, please put in the comments if there is any mistakes in our understanding so that we can make course corrections. So that said, we know that CRISPR-Cas9 is too big to be fitted into popular adenovirus, and this has led to the search for either highly specialized Cas, which can be much smaller in size and perform specific editing, or to look for a more versatile carrier. Those activities are ongoing, I suppose, and some companies or researchers are still working on those. The other problem has been the need to deliver the CRISPR-Cas9 to a specific area of the body or a specific type of cells, and make sure that there's total coverage for that type of cell. That particular activity also has got a bit of risk, which is delivering the payload outside the target area and not covering the target area completely. So those challenges are also being looked at, and researchers seem to be working on those areas. And at the other end of the challenge is the delivery of Cas9 to unintended locations in the body. So something probably destined for the heart going to the eye or something like that. That's what I can imagine as a layperson. But suffice to say, challenges have been plenty. And we are also now aware of the concept of off-base edits and the unintended consequences they could cause. So that's another fact which has to be overcome, and researchers are working on making the editing system much more precise, and many companies and researchers have come up with alternate solutions that have improved the editing efficiency, targeting efficiency. In case of lymphomas, it seems the creation of CAR T cells now has CRISPR-Cas9 has added advantage. It's another tool that can be used. And while there is greater flexibility in dealing with ex vivo therapies, the challenge is in reintroducing the therapy back into the body, and that's the point at which we have immune response challenges. And while performing ex vivo operations on cells, there could be greater flexibility and less risk in performing the edit. So there's a give and take for ex vivo therapies, and when it comes to in vivo therapies, you have all the issues of off-base edit, adequate penetration, and of the cell types that we are targeting, and so on. So it's plus and minus, and of course then we are aware of two therapy types. One is the autologous and another is the allogenic. So when it comes to autologous, we know that in autologous therapy, the patient provides the donor cells, and the donor cells are modified and put back into the patient so that it can do its magic. In this case, the good thing is that all the editing is happening outside the body. However, once the therapy is introduced back into the body of the patient, the cells don't seem to be as potent as it would have been if it was from a healthy donor, because the donor is not well. Their cells are also weak, and therefore the persistence is also an issue. However, if you take the other approach, allogenic approach, what we understand of the allogenic approach is that it takes healthy donor cells, it makes the modification, and it's readily available for infusion into a patient. Now, in this case, the therapy is likely to be potent, but there's going to be immune response issues from the patient, and the immune suppression regime that we have these days is all toxic, and therefore the success rate for any allogenic therapy has to be balanced with the toxicity of the immune suppressing regimen. And over and above all of this, one of the other challenges we have, especially in case of tumor killing cells, is that there is some mechanism in the body that makes sure that tumor killing cells do not persist for a long time in the body. If the tumor killing cells were able to persist for a longer time in the body, then the therapy will be much more efficient and there will be better quality of life for the patient and a better outcome. Now, this is where things got exciting recently when Editas Medicine made a presentation of what they call as a SLEEK system. So SLEEK is an acronym for Selection by Essential Gene Exon Knock-in. And SLEEK edited cells, according to Editas, demonstrated strong antibody-dependent cellular cytotoxicity and also demonstrated improved persistence without the need for exogenous cytokine support. So that seems to me to be a major development, and I need to do a little bit more reading on that because it's absolutely latest information that we have had. This is likely to make Editas even slightly better valued, in my opinion, because they have this technology which probably can be used by other companies as well, so they could license the technology. They may have other plans, but this is my first thought that comes to my mind. The other development comes from scientists at Cornell who have used high-resolution microscopy to study CRISPR-Cas9 enzyme processes and have removed 55 amino acids without affecting performance of CRISPR-Cas9. And as you remove the amino acids, the size of the molecule shrinks. And as they continue to trim CRISPR-Cas9, they are looking at something called transposons and also RNA to further optimize the size of the editing system so that it can be packaged into the usual adenovirus. And our challenge right now is that while the system is very effective in a test tube, on human cells, it seems to be less potent. So there is a lot of work ahead for the Cornell scientists, but they're on an exciting track out here. So it seems to me that this is the age of genomics. When I was growing up, it was the age of information technology, and everyone else wanted to be a programmer or a developer, and then there came object-oriented programming and so on. There was a lot of hype, buzz, the .com and everything. I think now it's the era for genomics. And those who are in the genomics field are going to have a great time, not only developing their career, but also getting a great sense of accomplishment. And of course, the software definitely benefited humanity in a big way. And there were a lot of negative consequences also, like hacking and other things. Similarly, in genomics, I think the benefit far outweigh the risks. And hopefully, with all these developments, things should start looking better for us genomic investors. And I'm thinking that despite all these limitations, we have had, I think, 4 or 5 companies which are in the clinical trial stage for sickle cell disease. Now, that's a big deal. And if the companies can do so much of therapy with all these limitations, just imagine if the limitations of the molecule size is removed, if the limitation of off-base edits are removed, if the limitation of lack of persistence is removed, the kind of therapies that are likely to come up is going to be really spectacular. So there might be version 1.1, 1.2, version 2 of sickle cell disease therapy and other therapies, and especially in the case of tumor killing and leukemia therapy. So there's plenty of promise for patients going forward too. So in this case, I think I'm really happy for not only the patients, but also us as investors, because it's our capital which has enabled the companies to persist in the research process to come up with all these therapies and many more to come in the future. So to all the genomic investors who are right now looking at a portfolio which is absolutely red, my message is that your money is in the right place, and it's going to do a lot of good things for humanity as a whole, and you're going to feel really proud of your investment. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is that investment always has cycles of ups and downs. The stock market has never been a straight upward journey. There's always dips in between, but the general trend is upward in the long run. So for the time being, we are seeing a red portfolio, but believe me, in a matter of time, things are going to be much, much better. And your portfolio is going to have a lot of green in it. And not only will it have a lot of green, but you'll have a clear conscience and you'll have a lot of pride because you're not causing pollution, you're not causing antisocial activities or anything by your investment. Rather, you're bettering the lot of humanity. So with that said, I hope you have a happy Saturday, and there's a few more videos that might come today, so don't be surprised. Thanks and have a great day. If you like this video, please press a like there. And if you're not yet subscribed, why not? Please subscribe, become a member of our community for everything related to CRISPR and for stocks. Bye for now.